Hello, we're called Conan, and we're here in New York, Brooklyn, to play a show tonight because of reasons. But we're here now at Rough Trade Records, and we're going to do some record shopping. Come with us. This is Oasis, definitely maybe. Oasis are a band from Manchester in England. I remember being an 18-year-old listening to cigarettes and alcohol in the pub as a young man and thinking, oh, this is kind of cool, but I never really liked the Gallagher brothers at the time. I thought they were pricks, but now I think they're both really actually pretty funny, and I like listening to them talk. It might sound weird me saying that, but actually it's got some great songs on it.
This is like probably one of my favourite albums of all time. It's the Poglos, Rum Sodomy and the Lash. Everything about this, it's got, in my opinion, it's got their best collection of songs anyway. Sick Bed of Colin, Pair of Brown Eyes, Sally McMahon. Every song is just so good. When Shane was touring this album with the Pogues, the absolute best night of his life was when Tom Waits came along to one of the shows, and they ended up renting out a bar in Brooklyn somewhere, and Tom Waits and a few other friends just stayed up all night drinking and playing music.
Yeah, these two albums just absolutely amazing. Like such like an energy and like rawness of the band, you know, and such quality songs as well. Just keep going back to them. They just never get old.
Okay, so Ministry are like an industrial metal band. I remember the first time I came to America and got the album with the track Just One Fix on it. It kind of blew me away just how repetitive it was, but how it kept your interest. I've always wanted to like do my own like an industrial metal band, and I'm just in the early stages of doing that now. I've got a band called Ungraven.
This was kind of my introduction to grindcore. I played in a grindcore band for like 10 years, so like once I heard this, just the way the riffs are so catchy and everything, and this here is probably the best live album ever. It's like the Allman Brothers live in Fillmore East. Amazing blues, folk kind of rock, with loads of like improv.
Dope Smoker by Sleep, of course, one of the iconic doom stoner metal albums of all time, I think. Now we've played with them a couple of times in Norway, Oslo actually, and in London. And a little claim to fame, I once had a Laney supergroup amplifier, which of course Black Sabbath used to use, and I sold it to Matt Pike, and he's used it on the new Sleep album, so all the best.
My dad got me into this album. It's like just amazing. Like obviously everybody knows Sultans of Swing, but like songs like Six Blade Knife, Water of Love, Down to the Waterline, they're all just really, really good tunes. Ward's Runa, really dark Norwegian folk. Great thing about it is it's folk, but it's dark.
If you're into metal and you don't like Slayer, then you're doing something wrong. And these two albums are like two of the earlier albums, the must-haves if you're into any sort of heavy metal.
This is just great. Like the first two albums, like Emerson Lake Palmer, the self-titled and this one, Tarkus, just brilliant. Early 70s, completely pretentious but amazingly brilliant.
So this would be like kind of the first extreme metal album I ever got. There was a place in Dublin, kind of a heavy metal record shop called Sound Cellar, and I remember walking in one day. At the time I was listening to Korn. I asked the guy Tommy behind the counter, like what like, can you recommend me something heavy? I've heard about like this band Slayer, and he told me to bring this home, and it blew my mind. It's still like my favourite Slayer album.
Yeah, so here's a couple of albums for Electric Wizard. Let Us Pray from about 2002, I think, and classic Dope Throne. I got into this band around the time that these albums both came out, and completely blew me away. Great band and really great dudes as well.
Okay, so even now I'll play just like mess about with acoustic guitar sometimes. And when I was younger, I used to play in a couple of bands, and I remember buying an electroacoustic for a few shows, and I used to sit down on my own and play Fake Plastic Trees whenever we do our shows. And even now I regret it. I really wish I didn't, because it was pretty embarrassing. Some high notes in there which I just had no business even trying to attempt. And I'm sorry to anyone who actually saw me play this song live.
Townes Van Zandt said that his two biggest influences were Bob Dylan and Lightning Hopkins. So in terms of like early blues, you can't go wrong with him either.
When I first started learning the guitar, I tried to learn metal at first and still can't play it now, and I'm 41 now. Grunge really taught me the power chord, and since then I started discovering other like alternative bands such as Smashing Pumpkins, and then this particular album here, Bad Motorfinger by Soundgarden. A friend of mine bought it in I can't remember the name of the shop now, where it's in Crosby Village, where we all grew up near Liverpool. I'm actually going to buy it now. I didn't realise they had it here, and I don't buy records all that often, but today I'm going to make a change.